Good morning, parents. So lovely of you to join us. Thank you so much for coming to our webinar, all about welcoming you into Lower Key Stage 2. So this webinar is just going to go through some things, some kind of different aspects of being in Lower Key Stage 2. I know if you're currently in Year 3, you're already in Lower Key Stage 2. So just kind of giving you a bit of a glimpse into kind of a little bit of a change, a little bit of transition time into Year 4. So a lot of things remain the same across like the whole academy. So it won't be too many changes. It'll also be a refresher on like times, uniform, and little things like that as well. And also you'll be able to be introduced to your new heads of year this year as well. So first of all, I'll introduce myself first. So I am Miss Brunton, and I am the head of phase. So that means quite a strange word, but that means I oversee both Year 3 and Year 4. So if you're currently in Year 2 now, I know you've been obviously working with Miss Rowlings, but next year that's me. I'm the basic Miss Rowlings of Year 3. And of course, if you're already in Year 3, then I continue to be with you in Year 4 as well. So I've been at the academy and out here in Dubai for around 10 years now, coming up to a decade. I've worked with many children across different age ranges, and I'm thrilled to have you join us in Lower Key Stage 2. We're in for a really exciting year. We've got two very passionate heads of year, as well as very enthusiastic class teachers in our team next year as well, who are going to go, I know, work above and beyond to support yourselves as a family, but your children in their progress, their well-being, that whole child aspect, with some fantastic learning opportunities across the year. So please ever do reach out to us if you need anything. We very much have an open door policy, as you will know, and we're really, really excited to see your children grow, develop, and learn across the year. So I'm going to hand you over now to Mr. Dean, who is our head of Year 3.
Hello. So, as Ms. Brunton said, I'm Mr. Dean. This will be my third year in Dubai now, working with the academy. And it'll be my 6th year teaching in total. I'm really excited for this coming year. It's going to be my first year as head of year, so I'm looking forward to working really closely with you all to ensure that your children have the best start to Year 3 possible. And I will be in 3D if you ever need to find me when you're in school. And in Year 4, we've got Miss McManaman.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Dean. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to see you here this morning, or if you're watching this on catch-up. I'm Mrs. McManaman. I'm the head of Year 4. I've been the head of Year 4 this year and really looking forward to continuing in this role next year. A little bit about me. This is my 5th year in Dubai and my 10th year in teaching overall. And I've absolutely loved being back in Year 4 and the wonderful things that are part of our curriculum. So we're really looking forward to welcoming the current Year 3s up to Year 4 and any of our new joiners as well. So we know we're going to have a wonderful year ahead. Okay, so I'll just talk you through a little bit about our school timings. So from Year 1 to 4, our drop-off in the morning, we have between 7:15 and 7:45 a.m. So lessons in the school day begins then at 7:45 a.m. and we take the registers, okay? And then pickup will be 3 p.m. on Thursdays. On Fridays, the pickup is at the earlier time of 11:50 a.m. Okay, and then our school offers a wide range of ECAs, which happens Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 3:15 to 4:10 p.m. And there are a range of ECAs and sports squads too. Okay, if you're already in Year 3, coming up to Year 4, you'll know those times. They should be familiar to you. Thank you, Ms. Brunton. And for those joining for Year 3, just that slightly different times. Thank you very much. And then I think we're going to look at our timetable. Perfect. So this is an example timetable for Year 3 and 4. Okay, so you can see that school day start time there is 7:45 a.m. And we welcome the children in, and we have our grow well sessions and a nice start to our days. And then you can see how the lessons are broken down between the class teacher lessons and of course our wonderful specialist lessons too. And so the Year 3 and 4 children will have the opportunity to learn French and Spanish. So they will learn that for French, for example, for the first half of the year, and then Spanish for the second half of the year, okay? And this has worked really well this year. I know the children have really enjoyed getting a chance to experience both of those languages with our modern foreign language teachers. And then you can see we have Projects for Change lessons in the afternoons and our timetables here, and you can see they're often together, which gives us a chance to really explore our wonderful topics in a little bit more detail in those longer sessions. Okay, and I know the children really, really enjoyed getting to use a variety of skills, learning skills in their projects for change this year. Okay, I'll then continue a little bit about year 4, and then Mr. Dean will take over for year 3's projects for change. So in year 4, if you'll be joining us in year 4 next year, we have some really exciting topics that the children have really loved this year. So we begin in term 1 with our green holidays topic, and this is a really exciting geography-based topic where the children explore countries in the Americas, North and South America, and they bring in a range of geographical skills as well as a range of art skills. This is a fantastic project for the children to think a little bit about sustainability and the future travelers that we're going to have in the world. And they've loved learning about different countries and cultures in this topic this year. Our term 2 topic is a big favorite, Cocoa Chronicles. So this one talks about chocolate. And the children have a really great time exploring where chocolate comes from, how it is made, creating their own product, and of course, tasting a little bit of chocolate too. It's a really exciting chance for them to use their marketing skills and to be really creative and innovative. And then our term 3 topic is Empire Builders. And this topic focuses on the Roman Empire. And the children absolutely love that part of rich history. It comes into so many of our other subjects with English and maths and Roman numerals and so on. And it's a really immersive experience for them. And there are some fantastic trips as well linked to our topics. So we know the children this year have really loved our projects for change units, and I'm sure that the current year 3s and our new students are just going to love them just as much next year as well. Some really exciting things happening. And then we also have opportunities for student leadership in year 4, and we've got eco warriors, young philanthropists, young junior librarians, and our student council as well. Okay, that's a lot from me. I'm going to pass you over to Mr. Dean now to fill you in about year 3.
Okay, thank you very much. So as good as year 4 sounds, year 3 is just even better. Because our topics we love them in year 3. We start off with From Farm to Future, where we focus a lot on the Stone Age initially, and we look at the transition from the Stone Age to the Iron Age, to the Bronze Age, and up to now. And we really focus on our sustainable development goals of reducing food waste. So we make some lovely links there to our MSCS lessons as well, NEMA initiative. So that's a really, really nice topic full of cross-curricular links. And then in term 2, we start to look at ancient innovations, which has been an absolute favourite for the classes this year. As we looked at the ancient Egyptians, we looked a little bit about the ancient Egyptian histories and how their innovations compared to the Stone Ages and compared to how we innovate today. And during those lessons, as we're learning about the Egyptians, we also get to learn about their cultures and how they used to mummify people, which was that's always a favourite lesson for children. And that links to our SDG of industry, innovation and infrastructure, which is a mouthful, but honestly, the children understand it and do so well with that. And it's amazing to compare the Egyptian times to now with the impressive structures that they used to build. And then our final unit is Refilling Our Rivers, which has been fantastic this term, as we've been able to link it a lot to Europe. So the children use lots of map work and build on their research skills to be able to find out what the landscape of Europe is like, which is amazing. So many of our families are from there. So it lets the children draw on their own experiences and share as a class. And they've just loved sharing their own cultures, their information about their own countries. So the topics, they are fantastic for engaging the children. And we get some amazing projects out and artwork out of them, especially in Refilling Our Rivers, which I'm sure your children will love, painting different landscapes. Similar to year 4, we've got a lot of student leadership opportunities which are voted for by their peers, including the eco warriors, wellbeing champions, young philanthropists, and student councils. We try and make sure that the children have a range of roles. So if they're a young philanthropist this year in year 2, we try and encourage them to go for something else the year after, just so that everyone can get a wide range of experiences whilst they're going through school. So yeah, I think Miss Brunson, if you talk, yeah, the key skills. So on the screen, it shows the key skills that we work towards in maths in year 3 and 4. Now these underpin all of the learning for each term. So when they cut by the end of term 1 in year 3, they should know all their number 1s to 20, like at least. That without knowing that, they'll find the addition and subtraction things hard. So these core skills are things that we focus on a lot during our skills boost sessions, during our retrieval at the start of lessons, and it's just nice for you at home to have an idea of what it is that your children must know by the end of each term, and what it is that we're working towards. There'll be more information about these key skills coming at the start of next year. Yeah, it's just nice for you to be able to see what the progress that your children are making throughout the year. And as you can see, for year 3, we start on the 4s and 8s times tables, whereas in years 4 they start to progress to the 7s, 9s, 6s, and 12s. There's a really nice clear progression of how your children are moving throughout our key stage.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dean. And for year 4, I couldn't agree more. That firm foundation in year 3 really supports the children then in their mathematical learning in year 4 as well. And as you can see in term 1, we've just revised over those times tables and developed that fast recall. And then in term 2, really focus on those new times tables, 7s, 9s, 6s, and 12s. And that consolidation is really, really important for the other areas of maths that they will then continue as they move up in upper key stage 2. So really taking the time to practice those core number skills with your children will really set them up with fantastic foundations for their other learning in maths. So in term 1, we also have those pairs to 100. So building on the number bonds to 20, then they move on to pairs up to 100 and how they can add numbers rapidly. And then, like I said, term 2, multiplication, and term 3, looking at halving and dividing. So it's great, as Mr. Dean said, for you as parents to know what your children are focusing on and what you can practice with them in fun ways at home too, just so they develop that rapid recall. Okay.
Okay, so still linking with our key skills at the moment. Year 3 and 4 share the same stature of spellings. So by the end of year 4, we aim for all the children to be able to spell all of the words that you can see on the screen. Throughout year 3, we teach them lots of different spelling patterns that will help them with this. And we focus a lot on the spelling rules, such as at the beginning of the year, prefixes. So we look at the root words that they should have learned in year 2 and how we can add prefixes to them to change the meaning of them. And it's really nice to see the children like toying with different prefixes, trying to see what works and what doesn't, and just exploring vocabulary. Then when they apply that in their writing, it's really nice to see. So these are the spellings that we send home every week. I think we aim to send home every week for them to practice, and there will be a weekly spelling test on them. The presentation in year 3 is, well, and year 3 and 4, we see massive amounts of progress, and it's at the end of year 4 they even have the chance to earn a pen license if their presentation is outstanding. So we aim for them to write cursive writing in English and make sure that it's legible and the keywords are spelled correctly, like linked spellings. And in maths, we always aim for 1 digit per square, just to help them with their working out. So if you're doing work at home, we do ask, like, try and keep all the numbers spaced out so that when they're doing things like their place value columns, in addition to subtraction, it's really clear for them which numbers have been taken away from which. Okay.
Okay, and now I'm just going to take a moment to speak to you a little bit about reading across year 3 and year 4. So I'm sure you already know, as parents as well, but as a school, you know, we're really passionate to promote a love of reading among our students. And in year 3 and 4, our goal is to really build on those strong foundations of reading that goes, you know, beyond just decoding, and developing that fluency and expression. And we do this through our guided reading sessions, you know, encouraging the students to read aloud with confidence and really bring our class texts and the books that they're reading to life with their voices and how they read. So we believe that fluency is like key to that comprehension skills, and through regular practice both at school and at home, you know, the children will develop their ability to read smoothly and with clear expression. We also practice pronunciation of words, and then in our guided reading lessons, finding the answers within the text and developing our retrieval and our inference skills. Okay, and we have another way that we promote this. You know, we have visits to our school library, which is a fantastic way for the children to explore like such a diverse range of texts, and from fiction to non-fiction, poetry, picture books, And we really want our children to experience the richness of different genres and styles. And this will, you know, create a real excitement for reading in them and also ignite their imaginations. So while we promote this also at school, we really encourage you as parents to support your child's reading development by reading together at home, making that time for that reading 20 minutes daily, and to explore, you know, your favorite sort of books with the children as well, different genres, discuss what they've read, ask them questions to stimulate their thinking. And this involvement from you as parents is also so valuable to your child's development in their reading. Okay, so we really appreciate all your support with that, and we know that we're going to enjoy exploring our class novels and texts with the children in year 3 and 4 next year.
Okay, so we've spoken a lot about how we can help at home in terms of reading at home or practicing the spellings and things. So when we're looking forward to preparing for years 3 and 4, we've just had a think as a team about what sort of things help, and we've spoken to the children as well about what helps them at home. So reading at home for at least 20 minutes a day has had a massive impact on the children. Like Miss was just saying, then the more they read, the better their vocabulary becomes, and we see a massive impact in their writing because of that. So the more reading they can do at home, obviously the better. And but by that we mean active reading as well. So have them reading out loud, and if you can ask them questions like what do you think will happen or what has happened before, just to make sure that they're not, because as much as we want their fluency to increase as well, we really want their understanding to work, be up leveled as well. Useful apps, we'll talk about them a little bit more in a minute as well, but on the screen you can see we've got Seesaw, which is where we'll put in a lot of the activities for math, English or science where resources are needed, where we don't need to print them off. That's where the children can find their work. I know Arabic and music put them on there as well if there's any song lyrics they need to practice. But any work that we put on Seesaw, unless directed, is just for the school. So please don't worry about having to finish activities at home, because quite often they'll be used as extensions or as mini assessment things. So yeah, any work on Seesaw, unless we direct you to finish it at home as homework, you don't need to worry about that. Timetable Rock Stars is one of the children's favourites. They absolutely love it. So in year 3 and 4, as the current year 2 parents will know, times tables are a massive focus. And Timetable Rock Stars is a great way to practice their fluency in times tables. It allows them to see how quickly they can recall their times tables, which areas are their strengths, where they need to improve. It lets them compete with their friends in class as well to earn coins, to change their avatars. It's a completely free app, so there's no in-app purchases or anything. Anything they want to buy, they have to earn the coins by completing questions. And the competitions that we run in school from this can get very, very competitive between year groups. So this is one that the children absolutely adore. We'll still continue to be using Upstrive next year. And this allows the children to check in discreetly with the teacher to let us know if there's anything amazing that's happened at home. So it's a nice time for them to share something where the teacher might then highlight it in the class, to let us know if they're not feeling too well or if they're feeling under the weather or if there's any concerns. So it's a really, really nice app to help us just connect with the children, to just create a nice little pattern to see how they're feeling throughout the days. And then Sentry for the year 3, for the children joining year 3, this will be a fairly new app. I think they have started using it in year 2, but we use Sentry a lot for our home learning, and it's a really, really good responsive AI piece of technology where the children complete diagnostics based on lots of different learning we do in school, and anything that is flagged up as they're struggling with will automatically be put into their pathway. So anything they struggle with will be there for them to practice either at home or at school during skills boost time. And it's really good for when towards the end of the year, when we're doing revision, they can see everything they've done throughout the year, and they can also see their progress through the trackers we have in school. So Sentry is definitely a favourite of mine, and we will talk about that more at the start of the year with how we use that in the classrooms to track progress and celebrate all the children. With regards to routine, Miss. With routines and independence, obviously, as the children are getting older throughout school, we're going to start to give them a little bit more independence and choice with their learning. But we do ask that this can maybe start to increase at home as well, in terms of having that regular bedtime schedule and regular morning routine. Just helps them so much when they're coming into school. It means that they're always ready and raring to go straight away, because it is a very long day at school where they do a lot of lessons, and there's a lot to take in. So if they're coming in like well rested and like having a nice smooth morning, then they're going to just get the best out of the day. And independence, especially in year 3, we hear a lot of, oh, my mum forgot to get my iPad. But so maybe we can start to introduce these routines of they maybe put their iPad in their bag the night before, or they put their reading book in the bag, so that's something that they're responsible for, that they need to start getting ready, just to increase that independence now, as they move up through school.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dean. So, as you'll know already, parents, we obviously have our uniform policy, and across the year, at least this year and next year, on regular intervals, this policy is regularly set out, so you are aware of kind of that expectation of uniform. It is the expectation that all students in our academy, from FS all the way up to being 18 years old in sixth form, do follow the academy uniform policy. And you'll find that in school we hand out dress for success stickers here in the primary school, to really promote that kind of high standard of uniform, them coming in the correct uniform into school. And also on the flip side of that, you might find that your class teacher might reach out to you if perhaps your child's missing a certain part of their uniform across the year. So this is just a really good refresher, or if you're perhaps new to the academy, just so you understand what our policy is. So you can see our main focus is here on the year 1 to 4 core uniform, where you're looking at the tie for the boys and the neckerchief for the girls. So that gives a good indication of that those items that you need, and you can purchase them across the Fred stores across Dubai. Alongside that, of course, we have swimwear. So the students, when they have their regular swimming lessons, will come to school bringing their swim items as well, and you can see which items they will need for their swimming lessons as well, which is often one of the favourite lessons of the week as well. And then obviously we do understand that, obviously, although we live in a desert, we say winter wear with a loose, I think of a bit of a loose term there, but yes, winter wear. So if your child perhaps is someone who is often feeling a little bit colder than the normal, or would like a bit of an extra layer on them, here are items that they can buy for the winter wear. So you've got the cardigans, and you've got the polo, the navy pullover as well. Just a reminder that often you might see, if you see in the store, in the shop, Freds, that they have like a jacket, it's like a hooded jacket, so it's quite soft and it has a hood. Just want to let you know that that's not a part of our school uniform policy. If your child does come to school wearing that, the class teacher might send that little reminder saying, well, remember, that's not our part of our uniform policy. So though it might be in the store for other Wellington schools, it's not part of Wellington Alkale's policy. You can also then go on to see the additional items as well, like your school PE kit based on your house colour. So if you are new to the academy next year, then you will already been told by the admin team what house your child is in. So you've got to get the colour linked to that. So if you're emerald, you get green, etc. And then, of course, you can have those the additional items as well, like your hats. So we do ask that students bring in a cap, because obviously when they're playing outside, it's all about that sun protection. So if they don't have a hat, then they have to play under the shaded area. So just kind of for like a well-being aspect, both for that safety in the sun, but also the well-being of the child as well. Just making sure that they can then go in all the zones. Our recommendation is that you do bring in a cap for the students to wear. And they can leave it in their locker, like in year 3 and year 4, they have a little locker, and they can leave it out, so it doesn't need to get lost. Also as well, we have our bags, and all students should bring a Wellington bag to school. So that is the requirement as well. So it's definitely no wheel along bags, and it is a Wellington bag that you will need as well. And you can see some examples of some fantastic school shoes as well. So we're really looking forward to seeing your children coming to school looking ready to learn. And that's a phrase that we use. That's what we want to promote. We know that that when our students or when we're in work, it puts us into a mind frame, a mindset of I'm here to ready to learn. And that's what the language we use. You're coming to school dressed for success because you're going to have a successful day in so many different ways, and you're going to be ready to learn. So just a reminder there on a PE day, they can wear their PE kit. It is mixed gender swimming, so they'll mix. Big top tip if you are a parent is to definitely label items, because often they do go into the cupboards or lost and found. And if it does have a name on in the class, it does get returned to them. Obviously, like I said, hats for the sun and no hooded jackets. And just there is an example at the bottom there of the bag, the Wellington bag that your child will need. So it's no personal bags. I know some other schools in Dubai have personal bags are allowed, but here as part of GEMS, part of being a premium British school, is the Wellington branded bag, and definitely no wheel along bags. That's certainly for health and safety aspects. So really looking forward to seeing your children coming, looking at extra smart, ready to learn. I'm going to hand you back over now to Mr. Dean, who's going to talk about BYOD, and that'll be quite new for parents coming in from year 2 into year 3 next year.
Okay, thank you very much. So, I am a massive advocate for technology in the classroom, but when it is used properly. So, bring your own device. We strongly advise iPads to be bought for children. It is a requirement for them all to bring their own device in. And the reason we recommend Apple iPads over the tablets is because a lot of the apps we use in school are 100% on the Apple store, and sometimes they're not found on Android. Another reason we ask for Apple iPads is because we are going to be starting to use something in school called Apple Classrooms, which is a fantastic tool which enables us teachers to lock iPad screens immediately. It helps us to monitor what is on each child's screen at the same time. So it's fantastic for ensuring that well-being whilst they're using, well-being and correct use whilst they're using their devices in class. So yeah, please, if you can, please enable your child to have an Apple iPad. We do also ask that all children bring in headphones. Apple headphones or wired headphones or any headphones are okay, as long as they are labeled. Please make sure that they're labeled, because when we're using them, if they're put on the desk or someone misplaces them in a locker, it's so hard to identify whose AirPods are whose. So just a little label on them, or written on Sharpie or something, as to who they belong to. The headphones are important because, like we said before, with using Sentry, when they use that for skills boost, if they're struggling with something, Sentry does provide videos for the children to help them with their work. And when we're doing things like reading assessments or mental maths tests, they will need them so that they can hear the questions independently. Devices, when they're brought in, should be in a protective case. They will be stored in a very safe place in the classroom, depending on where the class teacher locates that. That's up to them. But iPads will be kept safe. But please, make sure it's in a protective case for those times that students are transitioning through schools. Maybe they need it in their Arabic classroom or their Islamic classroom, just in case the worst happens and they do end up dropping it, just to give that extra layer of protection. The iPads in school will not be used for games. So if there are games on there, the children will absolutely not be allowed to use them at all in school. So whether or not it's break times, lunch times, iPads aren't allowed anyway. Or if the children earn some sort of reward, iPad games won't be used. There might be educational games that teachers direct children towards, such as like Block It. We use that in my class. But again, that's something that we only use in school, and it's on the website. The children at the start of the year will probably start, especially in year 3, we do it because the first time they've had their devices with them, we'll sign a little contract and talk through all the rules with the children on the very first day, so that they know exactly how they should use their devices and when. Yeah, I think that's everything for the devices. So, like we said, there's these useful apps. We've talked about these a minute ago. You will be sent a list of all the apps in year 3 and 4 that we ask you to download, and might need an account creating for. So, for example, in year 3, we do a writing project where we create an exposition all about why the UAE should reduce food waste. The children absolutely love this unit because the culmination of their writing is that they get to create a podcast using the Spotify podcasting app. It's completely free to download, free to sign up to. But this way, it means that they can publish it for all their friends and family at home to listen to. But like I said, there will be a list sent out shortly at the start of the year with all the apps that we require the children to come to school with them downloaded. And it is useful if they're just putting a little folder on their home screen, just labelled school, so they can find them on the place. For logins, these will be sent home in the back of your children's reading diaries. So at the start of the year, once everyone's in school, once we've shown the children how to use all the apps, logins will be put in the back of the reading journals so that you can have a copy at home as well as us having a copy in school. Okay. And then the final thing for me today is a list of contacts. Now, this is really important. So if you're watching this now, you might want to screenshot it or just take a quick picture. On here are all the email addresses that you need to, if you have any problems with the buses, for example, or if your child's going to be absent, you need to send an email to absence_wec@jamesedu.com, as well as the class teacher, just so that we can make sure the registers are all correct. In the case of like an emergency or a fire alarm, we know exactly which children are in school and which aren't. And yeah, your teachers will be your class teachers will be reaching out to you as well soon, with a message all about transition day that we completed, so that you will then end up with their email address in case you need to reach out for any problems related to your child. Okay, so I think now I'm going to hand you over to Miss McManaman one last time, just to explain how we communicate with parents.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Dean. So yes, in year 3 and 4 and across the school, we really welcome parent communication, and it's really important that we have that with all our parents so that we can discuss the children's progress and anything that comes up during the school day. So as Mr. Dean said, you can email your class teacher, and you will be receiving a welcome email from your class teacher very soon, so that you can know who they are and who to email anything relating to your child. And we always try to reply to those emails within 24 hours. Obviously, take into account that we might be in the middle of a busy teaching day, but we will try and get back as soon as possible. But for anything urgent as well, you can also contact the school reception. Then we communicate to our parents with a weekly newsletter, which will be emailed out every Friday, and that contains some highlights from the week in different areas of our learning, as well as things that will be coming up over the next few weeks. Those Friday weekly newsletters are really important, as they contain a lot of key information that comes up for your child and their class. So it is important to let us know if for any reason you're not receiving those weekly emails at the beginning of term, and we can make sure that your correct email addresses are updated on our communication lists. Okay. Another way that we share information and communicate with parents is through social media, through our Instagram pages, where we share photographs of the children's learning and International Day and other events and trips that happen throughout the school term. And then we have booked meetings with parents where you can meet with a parent over Zoom. You can meet with your class teacher over Zoom, through the phone, or of course we welcome face-to-face as well. And just email your class teacher to arrange that, or speak to them at pickup time. We send termly reports where parents can find out about their children's progress, and then of course our end of year reports as well. And we have student-led conferences where the children can share their progress in their learning, and it's a chance for parents to come in as well. Okay, and then we know that there are also parent WhatsApp groups, which is great for socializing and building that community within your parent group. However, we would just remind you as well to please consult the school for any questions about official communication. Okay, thank you very much. And then I think I'm going to speak just some top tips and reminders, which I think most of these have been covered throughout. But again, good for you to have these bullet pointed on one list. And as Mr. Dean said, maybe this is something you want to screenshot as well. So a reminder from what Ms. Brunton said about our full uniform is very, very important. And we do give the children constant reminders if they're not in correct uniform from day one. So it's great just to have them set up with the correct uniform from day one. The children come to school in their PE kit on their PE days. Okay, so check in your email from your class teacher which days those are with their timetable, and knowing on their swimming day. They will come in their PE kit and bring their swimming kit in their bag, and on their PE day, they'll wear their PE kit. Okay, so 2 days a week. And then swimming in primary school is mixed gender from FS1 to year 6. With regards to lunch, the children should bring a packed lunch, definitely for first break. We do not send the children to the canteen in first break. If you're not bringing a packed lunch, then they need to order through slices online. And then children have the opportunity to use the canteen at lunchtime as long as they have their lanyard with their cards, which helps them to purchase their food and makes that very smooth for them. And we, really promote healthy eating in those packed lunches that children bring to school. And it's wonderful to see, that really great balanced diet that helps with their learning. Okay. As Ms. Brunton said, in terms of uniform, swimming kits, obviously we're a large school in the academy and there are a lot of children and a lot of similar items. So it is really, really important that everything is labeled. Okay. And that will save a lot of time and heartache for your children if they misplace something that's important to them. Okay. And that also includes lunch boxes. You will be surprised the number of children across year 3 and 4 even who have the exact same lunch box. And we have had lots of mix-ups and mystery lunches when things are not labeled. So it is really important that that's labeled too, please. As Ms. Brunton said, a really important one, children, please have their hats for outdoor playtime. And as Ms. Brunton said, it's really important for the children's well-being as well, that they're able to play with their friends, because if they're not wearing a hat, unfortunately, the teachers on duty have to direct them back to the shade. And this can be very disappointing for the children, especially those who want to play football and so on in the non-shaded areas. So we really encourage them to have their hats every single day. Then our attendance is so important, and we really promote 100% attendance. Okay, that's really, really important. If of course your child is sick and unwell, we do understand that this happens, but please report that absence to your class teacher and that absence at WEC email that Mr. Dean mentioned by 7:30 a.m. This helps us to be really prepared for the day and know which students we are expecting or not. So if your child is sick and not able to attend school, please let us know via those email channels. For pickup and drop off, please try arrive on time. So that's 3 p.m. pickup time for us, and making sure the children are in school by 7:45 a.m. So they're feeling calm and ready for their learning, and they're not rushing to get to their lessons, and it gives them an excellent start to the day. All right. Any medical issues or ongoing medical issues, or if your child is taking any medication for a period of time, anything like this, please report all this to our school doctor. It's so important to have all of that information on file. And that the health, safety and well-being of your child is our total priority. So all of that medical information helps us to do that. And finally, please contact the school and email your class teacher before 11 a.m. if there's any change to their pickup or end of day. So for any reason the child's not going to an ECA, is not going to a bus, and you're going to pick them up, please let the teachers know by 11 a.m. and that will help to make sure the children are where they need to be at home time. Okay, and that ensures just a smooth end of the day for everybody. And we really appreciate all of your support with all of that. Thank you, Ms. Brunton.
Thank you so much to our lovely heads of year there, Ms. McManaman and Mr. Dean, who have really highlighted some kind of more, I suppose, administration side aspects as well as sharing with you the exciting curriculum that your children will embark on in the up and coming months. So it's just kind of a goodbye from us, really, and but a goodbye but a welcome, and a kind of a see you soon, because obviously we're so excited to have yourselves as parents and your children join us either in year 3 or year 4 in next academic year. And we're really looking forward to seeing your children grow, as I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're seeing getting them older and older every year, and it's getting scary for you as parents, but we love having them here at the academy, and we're very much a community, so please always reach out to us if you need us. So you can see on the screen now there is our email addresses. Drop us an email and we will get back to you as soon as possible with anything. Nothing's ever too small. So if you've ever got a query or a worry, just reach out to us. We can make sure that we support yourselves and your children through another phase of their academic learning career, and we really want to just work with you on that. So this presentation will get emailed out in the up and coming weeks, so don't panic if you've missed it all or haven't quite understood something, it will get emailed out. But a lot of this is a bit of a refresher for you as well if you've already been here at the academy. So thank you so much to all of you. who have attended, and we look forward to seeing you in person over the next few weeks, and then of course back in August time when we start our new year. So thank you so much again, and thank you to Ms McManaman and Mr Dean for all that wonderful insight into your year groups. Have a lovely rest of the day, and we'll see you very soon, everybody. Thank you so much.